Information Network News, I'm Hannah Schlosser.
And I'm James Porter.
NDSU professors and grad students are putting their heads together for cancer research. Bison Information Network reporter Lydia Crackle gives us an inside look on what's being called the Grand Challenge Initiative.
When you think of cancer research, you may think of lab coats and beakers. But so much more is needed than what meets the eye. So much so, professors and grad students of various departments are taking part to make a difference.
So we have pharmacy that's represented, chemistry, biochemistry, physics, engineering, different areas of engineering, and then we have College of Business and also communications.
With an emphasis on prostate and breast cancer, this team will work to potentially decrease the 1.6 million new cases each year.
In this particular Grand Challenge program, we have a cancer test bed trying to evaluate new therapeutics for curing cancer, especially breast cancer and prostate cancer.
While this initiative is only in the beginning stages, researchers are hopeful that the work they're doing right now, they could potentially treat patients in the next 10 to 15 years. Looking to the future, researchers are excited to begin work, but know they can accomplish more together.
And we're very honored to be part of this group, and it's a wonderful group. We work together very well.
Hoping their excitement will inspire others around the world.
And it's a global problem, so what we do here impacts everywhere else in the world.
Because most people have been affected by cancer in some way.
Oh yeah, myself. I had colon cancer 6.5 years ago.
About 5 years ago, in November, it'll be 5 years, I lost my father, who lost the battle to cancer.
Proving the importance of the research done right here at home. Reporting for Sioux TV.
If you're interested in learning more about the Grand Challenge Initiative, you can visit NDSU's website where more information is given about the project. Go to ndsu.edu/grandchallenge.
Coming up, we'll take a look at the annual Leaf Bowl and how NDSU celebrates United Nations Day.
But first, the area is getting its first snowfall of the season. Less than an inch is expected while we're in a high wind warning until 10 p.m. tonight with gusts up to 55 miles per hour. Here's what we can look forward to in the week's 7-day forecast. It's time for Halloween, which may make you think of blood. Perfect timing for the Doctor of Nursing practice program to be hosting a blood drive. You have a chance to donate next Tuesday, October 31st from 9 to 3:30 and can even win some big bucks.
Donors will be entered to win a $200 Shields gift card. The blood drive will be in the Rose Room of the Memorial Union. Snacks and refreshments will be served. Anyone interested can contact carrie.nelson@ndsu.edu for more information.
Stockbridge and Churchill have a long competitive history that's topped off each year with the Leaf Bowl. The Leaf Bowl is an annual flag football match between the two dorms. This year, the match took place at Churchill Field on Sunday evening and featured more than 20 players from each residence hall. The evening is an opportunity for both halls to have a good time and get to know each other better. Last year, Stockbridge won the game, but this year, Churchill came back with a vengeance. At halftime, the score was 7-6 in favor of Churchill, but Stockbridge had a second win. They came back to the game and had 4 seconds to get a touchdown and win. At this point, the game looked like it was going into overtime, but Stockbridge managed to get a touchdown and break that tie. Stockbridge will keep the traveling trophy for this event.
NDSU is home for students and faculty from various countries who interact and learn from each other, others' experiences, and enrich our environment. NDSU's diverse student body helps promote different activities, clubs, and organizations that explore students to how life is thousands of kilometers away and gives everyone a sense of belonging. The United Nations Day, internationally set on October 24th, was first celebrated in 1948 after World War II, an event and continues to be an important event.
We definitely celebrate the diversity of our student group. I feel like it's one of NDSU's biggest benefits, and it's why students like me come here.
Promotes unity and reduces ignorance.
It's a platform to share our culture and just our ideas.
This kind of a variety of organizations that bring a lot of diversity to the NDSU community, from the Arab Students Organization, from Latin American organization, from the Europe organization, from the African organizations. All over the world we have this very active and engaging students organization, bringing a lot of interesting cultural diversity to the NDSU community.
The world will continue to celebrate United Nations Day, and so will we as our student body grows and attracts students from all over the world.
Corruption, greed, and revolution. Urinetown the musical covers all these themes rolled into hilarious satire. The NDSU production aims to entertain, but also look into how we conduct our own lives. Bison Information Network News' Taylor Flocker gives us an inside look into the show.
Each year, NDSU Theater puts on several shows. For this season, they chose the satire Urinetown the musical. The cast, crew, and orchestra have been working for over a month on the production. The show was picked for several reasons.
Director Nick loves the show, rightfully so, because it's extremely funny. But I was also really interested in it, and then Nick as well, because there's a political undertone to it. There's a call to action, and with some of the bubbling of our political climate, it felt like a great discussion starter.
The cast also resonated with the show for these reasons. Caldwell B. Cladwell, played by sophomore Zach Christensen, emulates the corporate owner who has a stronghold on the community, and Christensen found his role to be similar to those in power today.
I think when we live in a capitalist system, we tend to have the people of power also happen to be very wealthy. That's what's so relatable with Cladwell. What he wants to get accomplished is kind of a positive thing, keeping the water clean, but how he's doing it is what's so corrupt.
Hey, that's like Paul! While Caldwell is the villain, Christensen enjoyed the role.
It was fun because I hate him, so it's kind of fun to play characters you don't really relate to outside of the show.
With its catchy songs and hysterical moments, the musical is a fun comedic show. But there is a message about how we conduct ourselves within society, and we can be the positive change. It's the hope audiences will also resonate with that message.
I think and I hope that as people leave the show, they will have laughed so much that they will have taken in the lesson of maybe looking at how they live their life and maybe a few things that they could change in order to help the greater good and to escape Urinetown, as it were, for all of us.
Urinetown the musical will conclude its run on Saturday, October 28th. This is Taylor Flocker, reporting for Bison Information Network News.
Tickets are free to NDSU students, and students are not required to call ahead to secure their ticket.
Foods that help you sleep and boo at NDSU.
We'll have that and more when we come back. Every year, NDSU is host to children wanting to get some early trick-or-treating in. This year marks the 4th annual Boo at NDSU event hosted on campus. Boo at NDSU was hosted in the Matthew Living Learning Center. The event included games, crafts, and Halloween activities for children attending. Those who attended were also allowed to trick-or-treat in some of the dorms on campus.
Our halls are going to have a separate room, and we are going to set up games, and we're going to hand out candy. We have lots of candy to hand out.
My hall is going to be doing the trick-or-treating portion where all of the kids from the surrounding neighborhood and the professors' kids are coming, and they get to go through the halls and just get treats from all the not high schoolers, college students.
At 7 p.m. this evening.
The NDSU bookstore is hosting a costume contest this Halloween. Stop by the bookstore Thursday with your Halloween costume on and get your picture taken, and you could have a chance to see it on Facebook. There will also be $5 grab bags.
After the break, Eric's going to have a sports update for us.
Eric, after that top 10 matchup, what else can you give us?
Well, you know you got another physical battle this weekend, and also interim tag no more, and we'll talk more about that when we come back. Another top 10 matchup for North Dakota State, this time against number 10, Western Illinois. Western Illinois would put their 4-0 road record on the line as they travel to the Dome this past Saturday. See Bruce Anderson getting ready early on in the first quarter. Cam Peterson connects on a 37-yard field goal. The Bison would go up 3-0 here. See Easton Stick drop back, and he gets hit as he throws, and Quinn Moon picks off Stick's passing, takes it 43 yards to the house. The Bison, Western Illinois would go up 9-3. Extra point was blocked. Here you go, Easton Stick coming right back, throwing a deep ball to R.J. Erzendowski. The defender would fall down, and Erzendowski had an easy 58-yard touchdown pass. The Bison were up 10-9 at the half. It would be 12-9 Western Illinois here. Early on in the third quarter, Easton Stick takes a quarterback plunge 2 yards, but wait for it, the refs took forever to make the call. He would eventually get the touchdown. As you see there, the Bison were up 17-12 on an Easton Stick 2-yard QB sneak. Once again, Stick late in the third quarter, an 8-yard touchdown run as he drops back to pass, and it looks like he's playing a little pinball bouncing off defenders. The Bison were up 24-12, and they would go on to win 24-12. Stick was 11 of 18 for 221 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Also, school record 150 passes before his first INT of the season, breaking Carson Wentz's old record, and Bruce Anderson 21 carries for 93 yards. The third straight top 25 matchup for the North Dakota State football team. They are currently 3-0 against top 25 teams and will look to make it 4-0 this Saturday. The Bison welcome the 25th ranked Panthers of Northern Iowa to the Fargo Dome on Saturday. Code Green will look to shut down the Panthers' rushing attack. In the last 2 games, they have averaged 200 yards on the ground and have had 5 touchdowns total. The Bison offense will look to run the ball against a defense that held Youngstown State and South Dakota State to a combined 99 yards total. It will be a physical battle this Saturday at the Fargo Dome.
It's always a physical game. I don't know if it's any more physical than Youngstown and Illinois State and South Dakota State, all those other. There's so many physical teams in this league. This is obviously the next one on our schedule, and it's always a real competitive physical game.
The North Dakota State volleyball team looked to move into second place this past Sunday. They had to get by a tough South Dakota team. The Bison jumped out to an early lead in the first set. However, the Coyotes came back and defeated the Herd in the first set. Despite out-hitting the Coyotes, the Bison had 22 errors compared to South Dakota's 11. Erica Gelsanite paced the Bison with 15 kills, and Michaela Purnell led the way with 23 digs. On Friday, the Bison will travel to Oral Roberts to take on the league leaders. First serve is scheduled for 7 p.m. Interim tag is no more. Jennifer Lopez is now officially the head coach of the North Dakota State volleyball team. As the interim head coach, Lopez has led the Bison to a 15-6 record overall and a 6-3 record in the Summit League. She is the 12th head coach in the 54 history of NDSU volleyball. Before becoming head coach, she was an assistant coach the previous 2 seasons at NDSU. In her playing career with the Bison, Lopez was a Setter of the Year, Player of the Year, and Tournament MVP in 2011. She helped lead the Bison to 3 straight NCAA tournament appearances from 2008 to 2011.
Athletics and watching the culture that makes this place so special, to be a part of it on this end of it is kind of an amazing opportunity. So very thankful for what I've been able to do this far and the support that I've been that I've received.
The North Dakota State soccer team looked to remain in the top spot of the Summit League standings. It took on Fort Wayne, who was looking for their first conference win of the season. Early on in the first match, Fort Wayne looks to clear the ball, but Brittany Montian steals it and blasts one past the goalkeeper. Just 52 seconds into the game, the Bison were up 1-0. Later on in the second half, Brittany Montian dribbles it up and passes it off to Mariah Haberly as she scores. The Bison would go up 3-0 at this point on senior day, and the next goal, Haberly gets a kick in, and the Bison go on to win 4-0. Goals from Montian, Haberly, and O'Brien. The next match is this Sunday at South Dakota State, 1 p.m. Winner gets the #1 overall seed for the conference title. With only 1 game left in the regular season, South Dakota State holds a 3-point lead over North Dakota State. South Dakota State will host North Dakota State over the weekend, with the winner getting the overall #1 seed and the loser getting either the 3 or 2 seed. Denver and Oral Roberts are 3rd and 4th in the conference and have clinched a spot in the Summit League tournament. The Summit League tournament will be in Fargo next Thursday. Will begin in Fargo next Thursday. The 2017 World Series is underway, and for the 2nd straight year, both teams will have a chance to end historic droughts. The Los Angeles Dodgers are back in the World Series for the first time since 1988, the same year they won their last title. The Houston Astros are back in the World Series for the first time since 2005, and they are looking to win their first championship in franchise history, a drought going back to 1965. The Dodgers are led by ace pitcher Clayton Kershaw and MVP candidate Justin Turner, and the Astros are led by their dynamic duo of Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa. The series is tied 1-1 after 2 thrilling games in Los Angeles, and it shifts to Houston for games 3 and 5 starting tomorrow night. Who are you guys pulling for in the World Series?
I personally have no preference. It'd be really cool, I think, if the Astros won, but really no preference overall.
Hannah?
Sure, we'll go with the Astros too. Why not? When we come back, we'll have your Bison on the Street. Stay with us. With Halloween quickly approaching, Halloween movies are everywhere. We asked a few students what their favorite movies were. Bison on the Street has their answers.
My name is Austin, and my favorite Halloween movie is The Strangers.
My favorite movie is What We Do in the Shadows.
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
My favorite Halloween movie is It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
My favorite Halloween movie would probably be It.
My favorite Halloween movie is Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus.
My favorite Halloween movie is Hocus Pocus.
My favorite Halloween movie is the Michael Myers series. Speaking of Halloween, come to the Halloween dance.
Thank you for watching this edition of the Bison Information Network News.
Be sure to check us out on Facebook and Twitter.
Have a great night, everyone.